What's up, YouTube? Um, I actually look stupid. One sec. Um, I want to make this video about um, witnessing evil or witnessing somebody moving towards like evil and being supportive of that. So, if you watch my videos, you'll know that I am working on a project. It's a film. It's it's neo. It's avant-garde, it's experimental. It is about the the cultural decline that humanity is in right now. And I have been working on it for a while, and over time I have become very, very emotionally attached and logically and rationally attached to this idea of the world being um, being pulled down into evil. And when I say the world, I mean the masses, that a lot of people's intentions, whether they whether they know it or not, are inherently evil. And it can be weird witnessing people that you know um, moving towards that evil and moving towards something that is, I don't want to say dying, um, but moving towards something that I don't necessarily believe in. But the thing is that they're a good person and they are not like humble. I guess you could say they're humble. That's not really in the picture, that to be honest. But they're a good person and they have good intention for that thing they're moving towards, but that thing itself isn't really something I perceive as good or beneficial to humanity. And so, what this may be like is somebody pursuing rap music that talks about sex, money, and drugs. Like, do I think that grinding and being delusional and pursuing your own creative vision, do I believe in that? Yeah, 100%. But do I think that speaking about just these surface level things that have been spoken about for decades now, for the past 30 years, rap has ruled the industry. Do I really believe in that? Do I believe that we need more of that right now in society? No, I don't. I don't believe that. In fact, I'm actually against it in the sense of I don't want it to succeed. It's not like I'm against it as in I will hate you personally if you are part of that, if you listen to rap music. No, because I listen to rap music as well. Not that often. I listen to more of the modern shit, or I'll listen to like Kanye. And like rap music isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there are like rap is still art, right? It's just the modern rap, a lot of the new rap, it doesn't say anything. It is just emotionless literature that is just spewing out garbage for the masses that people take into account and they start to live by these moral ideals that these rappers have, and it's not a good thing, in my opinion. Sorry if there's noise, by the way. There's renovations on the main floor. Um, but what do you do when you have somebody or people in your life that are not necessarily like they don't have to be pursuing rap music, but they're in support of it and they see it as good and they love it. It's kind of like when you have somebody who is a chronic doom scroller, right? Like they just chronically doom scroll and they're just feeding or they eat really poor, right? Like all of these things are bad for you, let's say. Like doom scrolling, eating bad, listening to bad music, consuming just the lowest of the low, what do you do when you have those people in your life that are doing that, but you can't just constantly critique them because then, number one, you ruin the relationship that you have because they'll most likely respond negatively. But number two, is it really their fault in the first place? And my answer to, and right, my answer right now to that is no. I mean, obviously, some of us have stronger consciousness, or we have like stronger like willpower to actually stop and recognize this evil that is tormenting us and dictating what we do with our lives. And like, I understand that maybe I have that and people have it. It's just a rare thing to have. Like, a lot of people need to be told, a lot of people need to be fed certain things. And so when you when you criticize somebody's, think of it as like their garden, right? Like, this person has worked on their garden, even though that work may have been given to them by the elites or by that, like somebody else, an external force, let's say. That person still really cares about their garden. And if you were to go critique their garden and say like, hey, like your garden is not good enough, is that out of comparison to my garden, or is that comparison to the holy garden, to the garden of God? And have I, in pursuit of this project, in pursuit of greatness, have I become in comparison to the holy garden, to to the divine garden? And now everybody who is not following that divine garden or the holy garden or the garden of God, have they become not a lesser person to say, but have they become, or have they walked a different path or gone astray? So I don't know. It's like, I don't want to become bitter. I don't want to become a sayer. I don't want to become negligible to these people in my life. I don't want to say, "Oh, you listen to this music, all right, I'm no longer friends with you." I know that's not the case, and I don't believe that. That's an extreme. But for some of my friends who are pursuing just strictly money and financial and material gain, or they're using AI to get what they want, or they are theoretically, let's say, scamming people, but they're doing it like ethically. So like drop shipping, which is something I used to do. Like, drop shipping is like you're just scamming people. You're shipping something from China, somebody overseas is creating this thing for like literally like slave wage money, and they're creating this thing made of harmful chemicals and plastic, and they're sending it overseas to here, and then it's getting sold for four times the profit, and like, well, I can't be supporting that. So if I had a friend who's drop shipping, like, do I support that? And if I don't support it, how do I respond to that? Do I criticize them, or do I update them on what they're doing and then try to convert them to something good? Because I have to realize, like, the world is not set up for people to actually do good, right? To actually be successful and generate like independent entrepreneurial success, you can no longer be a good person. You have to sacrifice some of your morals and your ethics to get what you want. So I don't know what to do other than change the actual system itself and bring up a new reason to do good. Because right now, to do good you get left behind in life. You don't get anywhere. It's kind of like, I think it's like good guys finish last or something. That's the quote that people use for like incels and shit. Like, what's the point of trying to even do good if you don't have a reason to, or if you don't have a God, if you don't have a God or some sort of like higher power, if you don't have like an actual like real life thing to believe in, like life can be good, like I'll own a house, I will have a wife, like if you don't have that to believe in, if you don't have like a social thing, like people are just becoming more ignorant and people are shutting each other out, if you have the belief that there's going to be World War III, like if you have all these negative beliefs and nothing to look up to or nothing to look forward to, if you don't have a strong like yeah consciousness, like I said, like you may just start to contribute to the whole like the world is dying or we're cooked, so might as well just cook it more kind of mentality. Like there's nothing, like it is what it is, therefore like I'll just be a terrible person, and people can fall into that. And so instead of targeting those people that are coming to the or that are succumbing to those mindsets and those ideologies about reality and about the future of humanity, why not actually give people a reason to not even have those ideologies in the first place? Why not give people a reason to change the direction of their life and make them more open-minded to pursuing something that is inherently good that also brings them material gratification or physical gratification? I don't know. That's the goal. It's to find that, but the system is not set up for that. So what do you have to do then? You have to change the system. This is the time for heroes. We are the hero generation. Peace.